How? Well, understanding what to eat, or should I say, understanding what to avoid eating when down with a common cold or flu or coryza is perhaps just as important as knowing what you should eat when you have the cold or the flu. So, when you're sick with the flu, stay away from the foods I'm about to tell you right now. Hi, I'm Dr. Hadiza Marliyya Suleiman, your favorite holistic reconstructive surgeon, and welcome to my 6th live stream on the Medical Information Channel. And this is the final part of the marathon series, Kick Flu in the Butt, this harmattan. And in this live session, to ensure that you, my lovely viewer, have a lovely, healthy harmattan and winter season, I'll be telling you what foods you should avoid when you're sick with the flu or the common cold this dry harmattan and winter season. Don't forget to get your Don't Get Sick checklist, and don't forget to support the Medical Information Channel in my pinned comment below the video. Alcohol. Alcohol lowers your immune system and causes dehydration, stripping your sick body with the much needed fluids to ensure adequate hydration when you're sick or down with the flu or coryza. Not only that, alcohol can cause inflammation of your stomach lining and cause discomfort, of course. Alcohol intake also impairs prevents your body from absorbing, utilizing, storing, and excretion of the body nutrients. And so, this affects your overall nutritional status, further compromising your immunity. When you are sick, you do not want your body to have to work on detoxifying your liver and your bloodstream, do you? You want all of your body's energy to be focused on healing, repairing, and preparing for a stronger immune system. Alcohol can also interfere with your sleep. And sleep, as we all know, is vital to the recovery process whenever you're sick. And so, the take home is that avoid booze. Suleiman, you're welcome. Yeah, okay. Have a good time at the dentist, and I hope you'll watch the replay when you come back. Yes, alcohol, as I mentioned before, is just not good for your body, and so avoid that booze. Why don't you? I'd recommend instead sipping on water and other liquids throughout the day to stay hydrated. If you haven't already done so, watch my replay on the 20 foods you need to eat to prevent and soothe your common cold, your coryza, your flu this dry harmattan and winter season. Caffeinated beverages. Caffeinated beverages are beverages such as your coffee, your black tea, your coffee. Your coffee, your black tea, your beverages. Sometimes even your sodas can be caffeinated, all right? Your sodas, all right? Your coffees. They can be caffeinated. And caffeine is a no-no. It's a no-no for your body, all right? And they make you more dehydrated. Plus, many of these beverages can cause you to be quite sick. All right. Now, some of these beverages also contain a lot of sugar. And as we all know, unfortunately, a lot of us like consuming caffeine-laden energy drinks because we believe so much that in that rhetoric that, energy drinks will help boost our energy. But this, my loves, is usually just short-lived. Excessive caffeine, as I mentioned before, can dehydrate your system and unfortunately, just not good for you. How about those processed foods? Yeah, there's so many of them. Processed foods. You see so many of them on the market. They're there packaged in the stores, just waiting for you to buy and consume them. Processed foods, whether you get them from a fast food chain or made from a box or made in a box like this, the more processed a food is, the fewer nutrients you'll get from that food. And with the flu, your body is trying to heal itself. And so it's important to support this process of healing with whole, nutritious foods, as the foods I mentioned in the video I talked about before, the top foods, the top 20 foods you should eat when you're down with the flu or coryza. And whenever you can avoid it, avoid snacking on these processed foods, okay? Avoid snacking on them. Try and avoid snacking on all these processed foods. Things like, your bag of chips, your canned foods, your sardines. Try and avoid them. These foods may not have a very high sugar level, like your cookies, or your candies, but still, guys, they have been filled with salt and sodium, along with many other preservatives, and these may hinder your body from healing very quickly. And no, you don't have to buy that pizza. You don't have to buy that pizza, nor do you need to buy those hot dogs, nor do you need to buy any of that junk food, because they have a high sodium content, which can contribute to dehydration, thus worsening your cold symptoms. So, my loves, please cut out those refined sugars, those artificial sweeteners, which cause inflammation within your body. And while most people won't have much difficulty digesting whole grains, some people have conditions such as gluten intolerance, celiac disease, and wheat allergies that can cause them to experience adverse or negative side effects when eating certain whole grains. So if you're one of those people experiencing such symptoms, it may be better to avoid them worsening your flu or your colds. For a large number of people, however, sticking to whole foods which contain fiber, vitamins, and minerals is optimal for our health. For example, I love these oats. I love these oats. These oats, or the oatmeal that we make most times in the morning, sometimes when we feel like taking a light breakfast, is fantastic. And remember, should I say, not remember, you may not know that oats are one of the healthiest grains on earth. They are a gluten-free whole grain, and they're a great source of important vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. I use a lot of brown sugar. In my oats. Sometimes I use honey in my oats. However, it's always better, if you can, to avoid using sugar, added sugar, whenever you can. Added sugar is packed into a lot of things, into our sodas, into our drinks, our candies, our cookies. Yeah, they're packed into all these things, right? Even our potato chips. And these foods are a no-no if you're down with the coryza or the flu. And indeed, the American Heart Association has noted that sugar, they have noted that sugar can trigger inflammation in our bodies. In fact, research indicates that when your system is fighting against this inflammation caused by the excess sugar in your diet, your immune system may not even have enough power to combat outside stressors, such as these pathogens and these viruses. And this was according to a past study in animals. And for those greasy foods, you'll want to avoid foods that are difficult to break down and are hard on your gastrointestinal system. Foods that are high in saturated fat should be avoided or limited. as well as all those fried greasy foods like your fried chips, your fried chicken. Because in addition to the high amounts of saturated fat that they contain, as well as the trans fats in these foods, we know that the saturated fats and the trans fat in the diet can cause inflammation in the same way, and it also weakens the immune response. All right. And what types of food, as I mentioned before, can contain these saturated fats and trans fats? You may ask. I mentioned before, these are found in foods, fatty foods like cuts of chicken, cuts of beef, poultry generally. The skin is really, really high in trans fats and saturated fats. Baked goods, butter, and even whole milk. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, you may have experienced this. After eating foods like fried chicken, it left your stomach feeling somewhat unsettled and heavy, wreaking more havoc on your body than you needed. And so steer clear of fast food when you're sick or fighting off the cold or the flu, please and please. Dairy products, dairy product foods containing dairy like your milk, your cheese, and ice creams have been reported to thicken the mucus in your airway. And so, if you're congested and have a lot of respiratory symptoms, dairy might just be something you may want to stay away from. This is especially for people with dairy product allergies, because we know that some of us have a lot of allergies to dairy products like milk, and so if you are one of those people that have allergies to these dairy products, just avoid them completely if you have the flu or the common cold. Thanks, however, to its prebiotics, Greek yogurt, prebiotics or probiotics, Greek yogurt, however, is one exception to this rule. If you take Greek yogurt, as we talked about previously in the previous video where I talked about the foods you need to eat whenever you have the flu or catarrh, Greek yogurt contains probiotics. Greek yogurt and many other fermented foods, as I mentioned before, contain prebiotics or probiotics. And if you really listen to the video carefully, probiotics are really, really fantastic for the flu. And so I would recommend you take yogurt. You take the yogurt, preferably unsweetened. And luckily, yogurt is not one of those dairy products then that can cause you harm by thickening your mucus. So we can take quite a lot, should I say, in moderate amounts when you have the catarrh, coryza, or the flu. And if you have watched the video live stream on 13 things you can do to prevent, help, treat, and soothe your common cold, your catarrh, your coryza, your influenza during the dry harmattan and winter season, you are home and dry. Don't forget to get your Don't Get Sick checklist, and don't forget to support this channel in my pinned comment below. See you at my next healthy live stream. Oh, I forgot to show you. I think I've showed you everything. All right, then. See you at the next live stream. Love you. Bye. Signing out.